Hi guys, welcome back to Design by Carly. Thank you for joining me on my channel. I am Carly, and on today's video we are going to be talking about the things that I love in interiors. So if I had my house, which one day I will, these are the things that I would incorporate or use within my decor so that I can make my house look stunning, A1, top notch, delicious, sexy, whatever you want to use. My house will look good, okay? So the first thing on my list is parquet flooring. Now I don't know if you lot have seen parquet flooring, but when I tell you, whenever I see parquet flooring, I swear my whole body just melts. Like, it just melts. Everything about it, it just looks clean, it looks sophisticated, it looks expensive. Original parquet flooring is expensive, but imitation, I'm cool with that. As long as it's done to high quality, I'm good to go. But I just love parquet flooring. So it could be laminate, but the actual design of it is in a herringbone style, so it just looks very classic. It's something that doesn't date. There's nothing wrong with laminate flooring in my mind, like the normal slabs that just run consecutively next to each other, but I feel like that design that parquet has is just timeless, it's just classic, and it's definitely something that I would have in my home.
You got money. He got money. Get it all for him.
So the second thing I love is black accents on fixtures and just within the home. I'm a fan of black. As we can see, I'm a fan of black. Black is one of my favorite colors. You know, anyone say, oh, black's not our color. It is. So when I actually buy my house, there's going to be a lot of black accents, so I'm seeing a lot of black fixtures. All of the accessories, it's just, yeah, black accents. I just feel like moving forward, I feel like black is just very modern. It's just very modern, very classic, doesn't date. There's nothing wrong with chrome or brushed brass, but to me, black, top tier, absolutely top tier. So I love black accents. I've got my eye on a lot of furniture that is black. I'd actually have black taps in my kitchen or in my bathroom. The only downside with black fixtures is water spots and stuff like that. You gotta make sure you clean that. Make sure you clean it, make sure it comes off, otherwise it can actually stain. So that's the only thing. It's a lot of maintenance, a lot of upkeep, but it's worth it for the drip. Who knew you could have drip in your house? I'm trying to have drip in my house.
What a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside.
My next favorite is circular mirrors. Oh my god. Especially circular mirrors that are huge, like huge. I don't talk about these little small ones. I want the big one, okay? The big ones, like at least 70 centimeters, a meter wide. Like I want the big boy. I want the big boy. So stuff like that, I would use it in your hallway, you can use it behind your bed, in the living room, anywhere that you've got the wall space, you can use it. I just find circular mirrors, they just add something to the space. It's just grandeur to the space. There's nothing wrong with the conventional rectangular mirror, but it just speaks to me. I love a circular mirror. Ikea have a circular mirror at the moment and it's £70. I think it's £70. Yeah, £70. Where am I going to put it? Where am I going to put it? So therefore, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, boy.
Another thing I love is feature walls. Now I've been seeing a lot on Instagram, like it seems to be a big trend at this moment where everyone is adding wall paneling to a wall in their house. Now, I'll share my feelings about it. If you lot want to hear about my opinion about all the latest trends that I've seen on Instagram, please give me the stars emoji in the comments and I will make a separate video about it. There's a lot of trends that's current right now that are all over Instagram and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. So if you want to hear about my opinion separately from this video, put that stars emoji in the comments. So with the wall paneling, it's adding a feature wall to whatever space they're choosing. I see a lot of people, they're doing it in their dining room or in their living room. And what I mean by wall paneling is when they're actually attaching battens of MDF to the wall, or it's just a half wall going across their living room or whatever, and then they're painting it. Me personally, I just like a plain old painted feature wall or wallpaper that's extravagant that you want to have on one wall, and then you paint the adjacent walls using a contrasting paint that complements that wallpaper. So you can pull out a color out of that wallpaper and then you'll paint the adjacent walls that go next to it. I'm a sucker for that. I think that's nice. As soon as you open the door, whatever wall you see straight in front of you, that is your feature wall. So why not make, why don't you make a big deal out of it? You only get a chance to do that one time before you move in your furniture. So you might as well get the wallpaper done now. Then you bring your furniture in, do all your paint, do all that jazz, and then you're good to go. You have to make your house work for you. Whatever works for you, go for it, because at the end of the day, it's your house. You have to live there. You have to spend time in that space, and even more during the lockdown, starting from 2020 up until this day, you're going to be in your space all day, every day. So why not make it look like something that you really like? Invest time in your home and it will pay itself back to you in abundance.
Message!
So the next two go hand in hand, actually. So when it comes to the bedroom, I've always felt like the bed is the feature piece of that room. So that bed has got to be made. The bed has got to be made. It has to look good, has to be styled properly, and the actual bed itself, the actual frame, has to work. Now, the one thing that I love are beds with no footboard at all. Like, I don't like these beds that's got a high headboard and a high footboard. It just looks mad. I'd rather have a high headboard, no footboard at all, and then the sheet just looks nice and smooth and just drapes over the bed. Now, that's, to me, perfection. So as you can see in the background, we've got some lovely plants here. I'm a sucker for a plant. I love an extra large plant, like huge, like from the floor to the ceiling. One of my favorites is the fiddle leaf plant, which has these really lovely big like butterflied leaves, and also the banana plant, the monstera, anything that's got big leaves, I'm a fan. Another thing that I love about plants is if you like a neutral interior, so if you like white walls, light coloured walls, all the rest of it, you don't really want to have any colour on the walls, you bring in a plant that's purely green, it will instantly add colour to it. Where you can get a bit jazzy and get a bit funky is with the actual plant pot. You can add a little bit of colour with the plant pot. It doesn't have to be splashed on the walls or anything like that. You have multiple plants in one room, you can add a little bit of colour with the plant pot and the leaves, job done. I feel like with plants as well, it's just something that's nice to look at. It frames a room. I feel like because you can have them in the corner, they can fill dead spaces really easy. And there's a lot of plant pots now that actually have stands. So you can actually have a tall stand and the plant on top. So it actually takes up way more room than the plant just being on the floor. Don't say I don't help you, lot. Don't say I don't help you. Another thing I love is textured fabrics that suit the actual item that they're on. So for example, this cushion here with this orange goes really nicely with this tan on the leather sofa, just because it brings out the undertones of the sofa. Stuff like that I think is really nice, and that way you can capitalize and bring out the color on whatever item it is. So textured fabrics like this, velvets I love, animal print in small doses. I don't think animal print should be splashed everywhere, but in small doses I think it can look really nice, as well as textured and embossed fabrics as well. I definitely think having just one fabric in your room doesn't really add much texture or depth. You should definitely try and have different fabrics. So you'd have your sheet on your bed, for example, that's covering your duvet, then you have your throw cushions, then you'd have a throw that's got a different. Once you start to add more layers, that's when you start to get depth. So my next favorite thing is a deep pile rug. But you can just put your toes in, There's nothing wrong with a thin rug, but depending on which area you are, and if you have pets or not, or children or things like that, a deep pile rug, you just can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. They're just gorgeous. And a deep pile rug should be about should be thick. It should be really thick. Low pile is really thin, where you can just rub your hand across it, but a deep pile rug should be quite thick where the hairs are actually standing up. Love a deep pile rug, and especially like a deep pile rug that's got a little bit of a pattern in it. that will also add color to your space. Depending on what your color scheme is, try and get a rug that's got a little bit going on. If you just get a flat rug, you're not really going to notice it. It needs to be something that's got a little bit of something going on. It could be a very subtle pattern, it could be a very subtle thing, but if you think about it, your eyes are going to look from the ground up. So if they take in the rug, then they take in the sofa, then they take in the artwork, then they take in the lighting, then they take in the wall paint. You want the eye to be bouncing off everything. So when it comes to the rug, it should be a calculated purchase, not something that's quick. It needs to be something considered.
That boy is good.
My last favorite thing in interiors, personally, is Scandinavian design. I love how simple Scandinavian design is. They take pride in making sure that the quality of one product stands out in the room rather than having a mismatch of everything. Scandinavian design is very, very pared back, very, very simple, neutral colors, whites, beiges, creams, black. This is why it's for me. I love a Scandinavian interior. If you'd like me to explain a little bit more about different styles and go through all different types of different interiors across the globe, please leave me a thumbs up in the comments below. That is all we have today on the things that I love in interiors. If you'd like to share anything with me, please feel free to follow me on Instagram or Twitter. Or if you have any inquiries in regarding interior design, please feel free to email me any questions and we can go from there. Thank you again for joining me on Design by Carly. Take care of yourself.